Did you know that small changes in your daily routine can make a big difference in your energy and well-being? Many of us think that age limits us, but the truth is that with simple habits, we can feel healthier, happier, and more active, no matter where we are in life. In this video, we're going to share 7 easy tips to improve your health and quality of life. Have you ever stopped to think if you're really taking care of yourself every day? Or maybe you feel more tired or less energetic than you'd like. If you answered yes, this video is for you. We'll explore how simple changes like staying active, drinking more water, and celebrating your daily achievements can transform your day-to-day life. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give a like if you enjoy the video, and share your thoughts in the comments on which tip you'll start practicing. We're here to help you live better, and we'd love to hear your feedback. Tip 1. Stay active but respect your limits. Mary, at 68, always enjoyed staying active. She loved her daily walks around the neighborhood and never missed a chance to join the local seniors dance group. But after a knee surgery, her doctor recommended she rest. Over time, she grew cautious, avoiding movement altogether out of fear she might injure herself again. Better safe than sorry, she thought. However, this inactivity started to take its toll. Mary felt stiff, her back ached, and she often felt too tired to do the things she used to enjoy. Even simple tasks like getting up from a chair seemed harder. She started to feel a bit down, wondering if this was just part of getting older. One day, her friend Linda invited her to take a short walk at the park. Mary was hesitant. What if I fall or make my knee worse? Linda gently reassured her, promising they'd go slow and take breaks. Mary finally agreed. The first day, they walked for just 10 minutes, with Mary bringing along her walking stick for extra support. She was surprised to find that the movement actually felt good. That night, for the first time in weeks, she slept peacefully. Encouraged by the small success, Mary made these short walks part of her daily routine. Each week, she added a few more minutes to her walk, always stopping if she felt any discomfort. Linda also suggested a few gentle stretches that Mary could do at home to help with her flexibility. Within a few weeks, Mary felt a noticeable difference. Her stiffness reduced, her energy returned, and even her mood improved. Mary learned that staying active doesn't mean overdoing it. It's about starting slow, listening to your body, and finding activities that feel right for you. Now she walks 30 minutes most days and feels stronger than ever. I thought I was stuck feeling this way forever, she says, but just a little effort made a big difference. Tip 2. Stay hydrated. John, at 72, had always been in good health. He liked to keep busy with gardening and reading his favorite books. But over the last few months, he started feeling more tired than usual. He would get headaches, feel dizzy in the afternoons, and struggle to focus on his crossword puzzles, something he used to do every morning. He didn't know why he was feeling this way, but he thought it was just part of getting older. One afternoon, his granddaughter Sarah came to visit. As they sat together, she noticed he hadn't been drinking much water. "Grandpa, how much water did you have today?" she asked. John thought for a moment and realized he hadn't drunk much, besides his morning cup of coffee. Sarah explained that dehydration could cause many of the symptoms he was experiencing. She showed him a simple water bottle with time markers to help him remember to drink throughout the day. John was a little skeptical at first. "I don't know, Sarah, I'm not used to drinking that much." But he agreed to give it a try. The next morning, Sarah set reminders on his phone to drink water every couple of hours. He kept the water bottle close by and began taking small sips throughout the day. At first, it was hard to remember, but as the days went on, it became a new habit. A week later, John noticed a big difference. His headaches were gone, and he felt more energized. He could concentrate on his puzzles again, and even spent more time in the garden. He was also sleeping better at night. John learned that staying hydrated was simpler than he thought. "I didn't realize how much I needed water," he says with a smile. "Just a little effort each day made me feel so much better." Now, he keeps his water bottle close by all day long, and he's glad he made the change. Tip 3. Take moments of calm. Helen, at 70, had always been a busy person. She cared for her family, stayed involved in her community, and kept up with the news every day. But recently she had begun to feel overwhelmed. She couldn't relax and found it hard to sleep at night, even though she was tired. The constant worry made her feel anxious and drained, and she wasn't sure how to manage it all anymore. One afternoon, her friend Margaret stopped by for a visit. They were having tea when Margaret noticed that Helen seemed a bit stressed. "Helen, have you ever tried taking a few quiet moments just for yourself?" she asked. Helen was surprised. "What do you mean?" she replied. Margaret explained how she had started practicing mindfulness, just sitting quietly for a few minutes each day, focusing on her breathing and letting her mind relax. "It's like giving your brain a break," Margaret said with a smile. Helen decided to give it a try. The next morning, she sat on her porch with a cup of tea and closed her eyes for 10 minutes, just focusing on her breath. At first, she found it hard to stop her mind from racing, but soon she began to notice the sounds of the birds, the gentle rustling of the leaves in the wind, and the peacefulness around her. It wasn't long before Helen started to feel more at ease. The tightness in her chest began to loosen, and her mind felt calmer. After a few weeks of practicing daily moments of calm, Helen realized she was sleeping better and felt less stressed during the day. "I never imagined something so simple could make such a big difference," she says. She now takes 10 to 15 minutes every morning to sit quietly and focus on her breathing, and she's noticed how much more relaxed and refreshed she feels. Helen learned that taking just a little time for herself each day can make a big difference in how she feels. "It's my new favorite part of the day," she says. Tip 4. Stay connected. At 75, Thomas had always been an active person, enjoying his hobbies and spending time with his family. But over the past year, he began to feel more isolated. His friends had moved away or passed on, and the pandemic made it harder to meet new people. He found himself spending long hours alone, reading the same book over and over or watching TV. Even though his children and grandchildren visited when they could, he still felt lonely most of the time. One afternoon, his daughter, Emma, called him and noticed how down he sounded. "Dad, you're not answering your phone as much. Are you okay?" she asked. Thomas admitted that he was feeling lonely but wasn't sure how to change it. Emma suggested that he join an online group to stay in touch with others. "There are groups for everything. You could join a book club or a gardening group," she said. Thomas wasn't sure about technology, but Emma assured him it would be easy to learn. After a little help setting up a computer and showing him how to use video calls, Thomas joined a local online book club. He was a bit nervous at first, but soon he found himself chatting with fellow book lovers every week. They even discussed books over video calls, and Thomas was happy to share his thoughts with people who had the same interests. It felt good to connect with others again, even if it was through a screen. Now, Thomas not only keeps up with his book club, but also video chats with his grandchildren, who live far away. They share stories and laugh together, just like when they used to visit. "I never thought I'd enjoy something like this," he says, "but it's been a game changer." By staying connected, Thomas found a way to feel less lonely and more engaged. He learned that it's never too late to make new connections, even if they start online. "I look forward to those calls more than anything," he adds with a smile. Tip 5. Eat fresh and nutritious foods. Barbara at 67 had always enjoyed cooking, but as she got older, she started finding it harder to make healthy meals for herself. She often relied on frozen dinners or canned food because they were easy and quick. At first, she didn't think much about it, but after a few months, Barbara started noticing that she felt more sluggish and even gained a few pounds. Her energy wasn't what it used to be, and she found herself reaching for sugary snacks more often than she'd like to admit. One afternoon, her daughter Sarah came over for a visit and saw the frozen meals in the freezer. "Mom, have you thought about trying to cook more fresh food?" "It doesn't have to be complicated," Sarah suggested. Barbara wasn't sure where to start, but Sarah showed her how simple it could be to make a healthy, delicious salad using vegetables from the farmer's market. Sarah also shared some simple recipes for roasted chicken and grilled vegetables that Barbara could try. The next week, Barbara went to the local market and picked up fresh vegetables, fruits, and some lean cuts of meat. She found that cooking with fresh ingredients wasn't as hard as she thought. She started making simple salads, stir-fries, and baked dishes. And to her surprise, they tasted so much better than the frozen dinners she had been eating. Within a few weeks, Barbara noticed a change in how she felt. She had more energy, her clothes fit better, and she felt lighter and happier. Barbara learned that fresh, nutritious food not only tasted better, but also made her feel better. "I didn't realize how much I was missing until I started eating fresh food again," she says. "It's really not that hard, and I actually enjoy it." Now, Barbara keeps her fridge stocked with fresh fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins, and she looks forward to making healthy meals every day. Tip 6. Don't skip meals. Joan, at 69, had always been mindful of her weight and health, but over the past few months, she started skipping breakfast. She thought that by eating less in the morning, she could lose a little weight. But instead, she found herself getting hungry mid-morning and reaching for unhealthy snacks like cookies or chips. Joan felt more sluggish and noticed her energy dipping throughout the day. Even when lunchtime came around, she still didn't feel hungry enough to eat a proper meal. One day, her daughter Kate came over for a visit and noticed Joan's tendency to skip meals. "Mom, I've noticed you're not eating much in the mornings. Skipping meals isn't doing you any favors," Kate said gently. "You need to start your day with something light, like fruit or a small bowl of oatmeal, to give your body the energy it needs." Joan wasn't sure, but she decided to give it a try. The next morning, she had a small bowl of oatmeal with some fresh berries and a cup of tea. To her surprise, she felt more energized and less hungry before lunch. Over the next week, Joan added small, healthy snacks between meals, like nuts or yogurt, and started eating a light but balanced breakfast every day. After a couple of weeks, Joan noticed a huge difference. She wasn't feeling tired by mid-afternoon anymore, and her cravings for unhealthy snacks had disappeared. "I didn't realize how important breakfast was," Joan says with a smile. "Now I feel much better throughout the day, and I've even lost a couple of pounds without even trying." Joan learned that eating regularly was more important than she thought. "It's about keeping your body fueled," she explains. By eating small meals throughout the day, Joan was able to keep her energy up and feel better without skipping meals or over-restricting herself. Tip 7. Celebrate your achievements and special moments. At 74, Frank had lived a full and busy life. He raised a family, worked hard in his career, and enjoyed many hobbies. But recently he began to feel that he hadn't accomplished as much in his later years. He often found himself thinking about what he hadn't done yet, instead of all the things he had already achieved. His days began to feel ordinary, and he started to lose sight of the small joys in life. One afternoon, his granddaughter Emily visited and noticed how down he seemed. "Grandpa, why are you looking so sad?" she asked. Frank sighed and told her that he felt like he hadn't done anything exciting in a while. Emily smiled and said, "But Grandpa, you've done so many wonderful things. You helped raise me, you've been a great friend to people, and you always make the best stories at family gatherings." Emily suggested that Frank start writing down his memories and the things he was proud of. "Why not make a list of things you've done, or moments that made you happy?" she encouraged. Frank was a bit skeptical at first, but decided to try. He took a notebook and began jotting down things he'd accomplished, like teaching his children to ride bikes, going on road trips, and volunteering at the local community center. He also wrote about the small moments that brought him joy, like playing with his dog or watching his favorite baseball team win. As Frank looked back over his list, he was surprised at how much he had done and how many happy moments he had experienced. He realized that even the small things counted. "I've had a lot to celebrate, and I didn't even realize it," he says with a grin. Now, Frank takes a few minutes every evening to reflect on the positive things in his day, no matter how small. Whether it's a call from a friend or a good book he's reading, he makes sure to acknowledge it. Frank learned that celebrating his past and present helped him appreciate life more. It's easy to forget how much we've done, but when you take the time to remember, it feels great, he says. So, to recap, we've covered 7 simple tips to help you feel your best and live a healthier, happier life. Staying active at your own pace, staying hydrated, taking moments of calm to relax, staying connected with loved ones, eating fresh and nutritious foods, not skipping meals, and celebrating your daily achievements, big or small. Each of these tips can bring small but meaningful changes to your routine that add up to a difference in how you feel. We hope these tips inspire you to start making small changes today, because it's never too late to feel better and live a more fulfilling life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more tips, and share your thoughts with us in the comments. What tip are you most excited to try? We'd love to hear from you and support you in your journey to a healthier lifestyle.